Hey, I'm Jerry Williams, middays on the Joy FM, with highlights of this past week's show for the week of June 20th, 2016. The big news, the United Kingdom has voted to leave the European Union. They called it Brexit, British exiting, or Britain exiting. David Cameron, Prime Minister of Great Britain, who had campaigned very hard to remain in the EU, says he will resign by October. There are already people in France and Netherlands calling for similar votes in their nations. I would not be opposed to a discussion of secession here in the United States either, but that is an entirely different matter. Here at home, Wally got his car back. Tony Dow, the actor who played Wally in the 1960s TV show Leave It to Beaver, has been reunited with the first car he ever owned, a 62 Chevy Corvair that he bought when he was 16 years old and still on Leave It to Beaver. Now, he sold it shortly after to a man who worked on the show as a prop master. Now, that man had kept it all these years. He recently passed away, told his friend that he wanted Tony to have the Corvair back. And so Tony Dow now has the very first car he ever bought. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures here. One of them is of me that I used a brand new app called Prisma with.
This app takes your photos and it repaints them in the style of famous artists like this one here, Edvard Munch. That's his The Scream. I'm the one on the right in case you were wondering. Again, it's a free app and it's called Prisma, Prisma.
If you had been given the choice of where to grow up when you were a kid, what state would you have picked? Would it have been maybe Florida with Disney and the ocean and the Gulf of Mexico and all the other amusement parks that are there? Well, not according to the Annie E. Casey Foundation. They say that the best state to grow up in is Minnesota. I'm wondering if they've ever actually been in Minnesota in the wintertime. Now, they studied all 50 states for a 6-year period from 2008 to 2014 to get a composite for each state. Minnesota came in number 1. Now, they ranked that on economic well-being, education, health, family, and community. Georgia came in at number 42, and Florida, with all those great kid kind of activities, came in at number 40. Alabama, number 46, the worst state to grow up in as a kid, Mississippi. I'm going to show you a picture here that is just burning up the internet.
This is 6-year-old Joshua Garza praying with a group of police officers in a St. Petersburg, Florida, Bob Evans. He saw them come in just as he and his mom were finishing up their meal. He'd been troubled by the recent events in Orlando, very active in his church, loves to pray out loud and sing, and he saw these police officers come in, felt better, wanted to thank them and pray with them for their meal before he left.
And finally, some of the best news of the week. Cuban coffee is coming to the United States of America. Now, it's via Europe and the Swiss company Nespresso, but it should be here on store shelves sometime fall of 2016. That's thanks to some of the renormalization of the relationships between the U.S. and Cuba. We're going to get Cuban coffee. I've never tried it, but I hear it is quite good. I can't wait to get it. Maybe Rob Langer and Benji Shepard and I will have to do a new version of Coffee Talk using Cuban coffee once that actually gets here. Thanks so much for being with us for highlights from this week's Middays with Jerry Williams. You can always follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/Jerry Williams Media, and check out the Jerry section on our website, thejoyfm.com. We have videos there, and of course, that's where you can get the references we use every weekday for our prayer time around 10:30 and 2:30. Thanks again, and I hope to see you right here on the air on the Joy FM, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for Middays with Jerry Williams.